Nobody's talking about it, but this might be the most unpredictable series of the entire playoffs. Two teams on completely different timelines, one powered by youth, length, and defense, the other by championship DNA, half-court precision, and maybe the greatest shooter of all time. It's a battle between a Timberwolves squad that looks built for the future and a Warriors team that's somehow still fighting for the present. But styles make fights. And if you're expecting a casual second-round series, think again, because this one might flip the whole playoff picture on its head. Before we even get into matchups, we have to acknowledge something. These aren't the same Timberwolves or Warriors teams that we've been watching over the past few seasons. Minnesota is no longer just that team with young talent. They've become one of the best two-way units in the league. Meanwhile, Golden State, they're not exactly the death lineup juggernaut anymore, but they've adapted, and they're still one of the smartest, most battle-tested groups in the playoffs. So this isn't youth versus experience. It's system versus system, adjustment versus counter-adjustment, and whichever one cracks first might be the difference. Let's start with what everyone's wondering. How do you guard Steph Curry? It sounds simple, but it's the entire key to the series. The Wolves probably throw Jaden McDaniels at him from the opening tip. He's long, he's mobile, and he's disciplined enough not to fall for all the off-ball trickery. The goal isn't to stop Steph, because nobody stops Steph. The goal is to make every catch, every screen, and every movement uncomfortable. The Rockets tried to shadow him full court with Amen Thompson, and it worked. For a little while. The Wolves would try to copy that formula, only with more rim protection behind it and better overall size. The question is, can they survive when Steph starts dragging defenders into the chaos? Because let's be honest, Steph is going to get his shots. The more important battle might be who else steps up. In the Rockets series, Golden State struggled when they had multiple non-shooters on the floor. Teams loaded up, ignored Draymond, ignored Looney, and dared Jimmy Butler to beat them in ISO. And while Jimmy had moments, he wasn't consistent enough to carry the offense when Steph was blitzed. That can't happen in this series. If Minnesota forces the ball out of Curry's hands, the Warriors need Buddy Hield, Moses Moody, and Podziemski to punish the defense. Period. Because if they don't, the Wolves are too good defensively to get caught twice. Now flip it. What about stopping Anthony Edwards? That's the million-dollar problem for the Warriors. They don't really have a perfect matchup. Gary Payton II might start on him, and Moody might get minutes. But neither can physically match Ant's blend of strength and explosiveness. And once he gets a switch, he's hunting. Van Vliet, Steph, even Jimmy, he's going at all of them. And the moment the defense collapses, it's either a pull-up three, a lob to Rudy, or a skip pass to a shooter. Golden State's best hope is to force Ant into difficult jumpers by soft switching, fighting over screens, and clogging up the lane with weak side help. But that takes energy, and if this goes 6 or 7 games, that's where age becomes a factor. The Timberwolves don't just rely on Ant. Julius Randle has been a nightmare for smaller defenders in the post. Nas Reed can stretch the floor or take bigs off the dribble. And Jaden McDaniels has quietly become a killer when matched up with smaller wings. The Wolves aren't deep with stars, but they're deep with weapons, and that means Golden State has to pick their poison. Do they keep Jimmy on Gobert to avoid the lob threat? Or do they put him on McDaniels and try to slow down the Wolves mid-post action? Either way, it forces sacrifices elsewhere. If Looney plays, Ant's going to hunt him in every pick and roll. If Draymond is roaming, someone else has to box out Rudy. Every answer creates a new problem. And that's what makes this series so fascinating. It's not just about who plays better. It's about who survives the chess match. The Wolves have the defensive length to blow up Golden State's motion offense. But if they overplay, Steph's cutting, screening, and short roll reads can pick you apart. On the other side, the Warriors want to make the Wolves play slow. They'll switch coverages, blitz the ball, and try to force guys like Rudy Gobert and Kyle Anderson to make decisions in space. Minnesota's biggest weakness is still half-court offense when Ant can't get to the rim, so don't be surprised if Golden State packs the paint, plays off Rudy, and bets on making this a jump-shooting series. But there's one more factor we have to talk about: fatigue. The Wolves are coming off a quick, relatively easy first round. The Warriors just barely survived a 7-game war. That matters, especially when your core is made up of guys in the